I have a neighbor that I've never seen speak. I live in an apartment building and I am pretty sure the people across the hall from me are a married couple. I say this because I've only ever seen the man there and he always seems to be wearing one of those wife-beater shirts. The dude is always outside smoking a joint or just staring into the abyss, but I digress. One day I was home alone and I was getting stuff out of my mailbox. This is one of those mailboxes where you have to stick your whole hand in to grab the mail because it's too small to open. So I am in the middle of grabbing all this stuff when I hear a blood-curdling scream from the apartment across the hall. I'm talking full-blown, "Aw, what the hell was that?" I immediately jump back in surprise and that's when I see him. He's standing in his doorway fully illuminated by the hallway light, his eyes wide with terror. Now, up until this point, I haven't said a word to the guy, but I've seen him around enough times that I've made enough eye contact to establish what I would consider a friendly enough relationship. We're not best friends or anything, but I wouldn't be afraid to say hi to the guy if I saw him in the hallway. So I go over to him and I ask, "Hey, are you okay? You okay?" And he just screams again and runs back into his apartment and shuts the door. Now, obviously, I am a little creeped out at this point because I could hear whatever was in his apartment clearly as day, and it didn't sound human. So I knock on his door and I call out to him and ask if everything's alright. And then I hear a voice from behind the door. It sounded like a woman's voice. She said, "Everything's fine. Leave us alone." And then the man's voice said, "Don't listen to her. Man, please help me." I could tell the man was really struggling to get the words out. It was like he was choking on them. The woman's voice said something else, but I couldn't make out what it was. Then I started to feel really bad for whoever was in there because I could hear the man in there start to cry, and then he went silent. I waited a little bit longer and then I heard the distinct sound of someone trying to force their way into the apartment. I could hear the doorknob rattling, but no one was able to get in. At this point, I get really worried, so I call the police and I tell them what's going on. When they got there, they kicked in the door and what they found was absolutely terrifying.